This is how 99% of Australian mortgage holders are paying their home loan incorrectly, like this Aussie lady. How the fuck am I going to pay off my mortgage now I lost my job? Now this chick over here wrote an article to Mamma Mia, some mum's chick website. She's basically whinging the fact that, I got a mortgage, now I lost my job, and I'm struggling to pay my mortgage. The usual spiel. But if she bought my book, which is Keep Calm and Mortgage On, which is Amazon's #1 education funding bestseller, she, like many of my clients, would have done this to their home loan. She would have went to chapter 6, which is the right way to sim, which is page 157, went to the next page, then apply the method which I teach my clients, which is called the Crisis Prevention Repayment System, the CPR system. Because my CPR method would have taught her not to do this to her mortgage. For example, this chick over here who is having a whinge has a property. There's an investment property. The home loan is worth $800K and the market value of this property was $1 million. Let's assume she got this home loan for 5 years, and back then life was really pretty, roses, rainbows and butterflies, and her rate was 2.99% and she was paying $3,368.52 per month. That was on a principal and interest repayment, and say throughout the years she added on an extra $10,000 to $20,000 of extra repayments into the home loan. And because she shops at Franklin's before, like no frills, she doesn't want an offset account because it costs more, and she opted for a redraw account. Now in that 5 years of rosy butterfly days, the $800K loan was paid down, for example, to $700K. So technically for the house, she paid down by $100K equity. But in 2023, rates rose to 6.1 because she was off this 2.99% interest rate. 6.1 interest rate would then become $4,847, which means compared to her previous rate, she's now paying extra $1,479 per month. And on top of all this stuff that she's been doing, she lost her bloody job. And they quote this chick, she goes, "The fuck am I gonna pay my mortgage now? I lost my job, yo." Because if she read my book, she would have realized right now that she lost her job, and she's been a very good girl, paid down her home loan by $100K. She went back to the bank. "Please, bank, could I have the $100K to help me, throughout these bad days?" And then the bank will say this, "No, man, fuck off." Because, bitch, you just lost your job and you don't service. But if you apply the crisis prevention repayment system that I'm doing here and for many of my clients, so same home loan, $800K, but not P&I, but interest only. Yes, the interest rate is a little bit higher than 2.99, back then 3.5. That works out to be $2,033.33 rather than $3,3668. And then a lot of you guys will say, "Hey Q, she's not paying down her principal." Aha, this is where you apply the CPR method. She then goes and opens an offset account, parks all the principal that she would have paid directly into a loan into this offset account, built it up to $100K. If she followed the CPR method until 2023 when rates jacked up and she was on 6.1 P&I, but then interest only is 6.5. And remember guys, she's still, putting the extra money and all that stuff to, pay down the loan, but indirectly into the offset account. Now this is where the magic comes in. When she loses her job, this chick doesn't need to go back to the bank and go, "Please give me back the $100K because I was such a good girl and paying it down." She'll go to her offset account and take this money whenever she wants. You gotta remember guys, the money you put in redraw, that belongs to the bank. When you redraw and you lost your job, they'll ask you, whether you can still service it or not. Money in an offset account belongs to you. The bank has no say when you can take it out or not. Even you lost your job or you lost your legs or you're permanent disabled, you can still take the money out. And the table will spin and the bank will say, "Hey, you're taking the money out?" And you say, "Yeah, fuck you, man. I'm taking the money out, you cunt." And then based on this method, you can ride through the crisis, because it's crisis prevention repayment system. And then when she gets her job back, maybe 6 or 7 months later, she can opt to pay more back into the offset, or she can get a chunk of this money and chuck it into a loan to pay it down physically to whatever fuck she wants. Seriously guys, I talk to women like this or men like this every single day. "Oh, what's the best way? I want to get the cheapest." Dude, you need the right loan structure to prevent crisis in the future like this chick. Yes, you got the bloody cheapest rate because you're on P&I, blah, 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 and redraw, no fees and shit like that. But then when you lose your job, can you survive 6 to 7 months? Right now, you can't pull the money out. But someone who was on a little bit higher rate but still competitive, interest only with offset account, well, she can survive because she got $100K for the next 12 months. And the chick who was all conscious about rate, well, you gotta sell your house and sucked in. Well, this chick, which is on CPR method, will probably, ride through the storm and then use a bit of that money to buy another property and use this method, accumulate more property and retire early. Again, guys, not financial advice, and yes, it turned into a rant because I've been speaking to a lot of people today. They don't understand loan structuring. They think it's all about the cheapest, no frills Franklin rate. I'm so sick of explaining this to people. And at the end of the day, I'll be like, yep, you're right. See you later. Good luck.